Hey guys, today we're going to be reviewing Black Adam. I saw this like a day ago, and I recuperated some of my thoughts. I've done some reflecting, so I can provide a more in-depth review on this film. I've done one on TikTok, but I'm just going to touch up on a few of my talking points, and just dive a little bit deeper. To start off, we're going to be talking about the positives. I expected this myself, but The Rock killed it. He is perfect for the role. He's able to play that stoic, very serious, but super boss, super epic character. He just has the body, the physique, the absolute mannerisms of what a Black Adam would be like in real life. And he was just having so much fun in the film, just blasting people away, zapping people away, and yeah, just The Rock killed it. I don't think he did anything wrong. And yeah, really see a future with him playing the role going forward. But a few other things that stood out to me was Pierce Brosnan. A lot of people were delighted with his inclusion to the film, and so was I. It was very interesting to see an actor of his caliber, his status, to be in a film like this. And yeah, he's just what I expected. Again, he's like the old wise leader, you know, very calm, very poised, and he's just something you'd expect out of a Doctor Fate character. And yeah, he nailed it. I was quite delighted. Spoiler warning, but I was sad for what happened to him, but I'm sure he'll be back again. If we want him, he'll be back. So yeah, I was very impressed by his performance as Doctor Fate. And another thing I was delighted with was the action. The action is this movie is the definition of a superhero film in the most cliche way possible. It's just jam packed with action. I think this movie, when it comes to superhero movies, is the equivalent of like a Transformers movie. It's just action upon action upon action. And like the action itself was phenomenal. It's something we haven't seen in a long time. Really embracing the fact that it is a superhero movie. It's going to have a lot of cheesy, a lot of wacky, you know, action sequences, and it had plenty of that. It had plenty of that. The trailer didn't show nearly half as much as what was in the film, so that really impressed me in general. And this kind of leads into the negatives of the film. Um, Negatives would be that you know this film is what I expected a Black Adam film would be. The negatives is that it's super cliche. Like, this is a film that started its development in 2007, and that's when superhero movies weren't really taken seriously. They're still they had a reputation of being super campy, which is reinforced by the same Raimi films. A year later, The Dark Knight came out, and superhero films became a bit more serious. But back then, it was just campy upon campy upon campiness in every single superhero film. Um, and this film is that. This film reminded me of something that would come out of 2007, 2006. It feels dated, but it came out today. So that's why a lot of the dialogue, a lot of the cliches within the movie is, you know, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. It just felt so damn familiar. It gives you deja vu. It's like I'm back in 2007 again, and I'm totally fine with that. It's for a Black Adam movie. We're not expecting anything Nolan level. It's what it needs to be as a Black Adam film, and I feel like it sets up a good basis to for the character to build itself upon. To become a bit more modern. you know he's the typical hero Chad, super, he's just going to say lines that you'd come up with with your friends, something out of a video game. It's just super cheesy. And I think people will have a problem with that. I won't. It's a superhero movie that embraces the fact that it's a superhero movie. So that's really the only negative. It's just all compacted together, the dialogue, a bit of the deliverance. It's influenced by the fact that it's set it was this movie was supposed to come out like 14, 15 years ago, so it's just super cheesy, and it feels quite old, but that's really the only negatives I have with the film. Oh, and also so much action that the film's very fast paced. It feels like a few of the plot beats weren't given enough room to breathe. So the plot feels quite flat because instead of depth, a bit more depth, a bit more dialogue. In substitute of that is action, pure action sequences, which like I said, this film is quite 50-50 on Rotten Tomatoes for a reason, and it's either you really like the action and you don't. So yeah, that's probably one of the only negatives. I feel like there should have been some scenes where it should have really focused on the dialogue, on the characters, but instead we got, you know, mesmerizing action sequences. So that's like really the only negatives. Final thoughts. Give it a 7 out of 10. I think that's quite fair. Like I said, it's not, there wasn't that much depth to the writing, and that's it's not their fault. This is how they always envisioned the film. If this film came out back then, I'm sure it would have been praised highly. But um, you know, we're living in a bit more of a modern era of superhero movies, where these movies have a bit more depth, a bit more nuance, a bit more intelligent. So points out for there, and obviously, like I said, a bit too much action. I would have loved, the pacing to be a bit slower, so I can really resonate with a lot of the characters. But other than that, this movie is great. It's solid. It's good. It's a good time. It's fun time. It's in an essence the most Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie ever. If you were to ever play a superhero character, and that's all I wanted from a Black Adam movie. So when you go in there, you see it on the big screen, you're gonna have a very good time. There's obviously the big man that comes at the end, which is gonna make everyone's day. And this leads into my final thoughts. I think that this is a step in the right direction. The Rock listen has acknowledged the complaints from the fans, and he realizes that they don't DC don't have to be the MCU. DC fail because they try to replicate the MC with serious characters. They don't have to do that. They can go their own direction. They can follow their own path with their a bit more serious characters. And Black Adam can be at the forefront of that. He can have him versus Superman movie, and eventually him versus Shazam. And his movie's the type of movie you'd want. Super cheesy, just like Shazam, actually. So I think if you have Rock at the mantle, and base it upon the success of this movie, then DC will be back on the right track again. So yeah, I just it's great. I really like this movie. I hope you guys go see it as well. See it with your friends. It's cool. It's hip. It's like a Transformers movie in the form of superheroes. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys.